Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita shloka. Anyone who needs to go first can raise your hand. We are reciting the verse Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 10, text 39. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yakchapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinasyan Maya Bhutam Chara Charam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non moving that can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadam arjuna na tad yasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Echapi sarva bhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna natadasti vinayatshan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Lokesh. Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tatasti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Lokesh.
Yachapi sarva bhutanam bhutam tadaham arjuna natad asti vinayasyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the growing all existence. There is no being moving or non-moving which can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So we'll go in order now. Achintadev Prabhu, can you read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat, Prabhuji. Yachapi sarva bhutanam
Yachapi sarva bhutanam
bijam tad aham arjuna
bijam tat aham arjuna
natad asti vinayatsyan
natat asti vinayatsam
maya bhutam characharam.
maya bhutam characharam. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existence. There is no being moving or non-moving that Mataji, it's not scrolling up.
Oh, you're not seeing? Can you see? Can you see?
Yeah, name on your screen has covered it. Moving on, if you can repeat, I'll repeat after you. Yeah,
the moving or non-moving that can exist without me.
that can exist without me. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry for it.
No problem. Okay. Achit Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj, Jai Guru Mr. Vyasambandam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri
Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayasyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation and purport given by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Thank you, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Inba, Jai Shri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranamal Goswami Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Mataji said you were not there, so I thought you're not there.
Oh, no, yesterday I was not there. Today they are not available. They had to come back from the school.
Achha. Okay. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Echapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna na tadasti vinayetsyan maya bhutam characharam. Translation, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Isha.
यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तदहम् अर्जुन न तदस्ति विनायत्स्यान् मया भूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being moving or non-moving that can exist without me.
Krishna Shish.
यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तदहम् अर्जुन न तदस्ति विनायत्स्यान् मया भूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Madhava is not here. Rasapriya.
यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तदहम् अर्जुन न तदस्ति विनायत्स्यान् मया भूतं चराचरम्. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me.
Next, Sonia Mataji is not here. Lokesh is done. So, Usha Mataji is here. No. Priyanka Mataji finished. Saujanya Mataji finished. Pragya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yakchapi sarvabhutanaಂ bijamad tad aham arjuna nachadasti vinayatyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Arunita, I think Arunita didn't read. Not ready? So we'll go to Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll recite. Bhagavad Gita 10:39. Yacchapi sarva bhutanam bijam tad aham arjuna na tad asti vinayatsyan maya bhutam characharam. Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non-moving, that can exist without me. Today, in the temple, I was attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class, and the speaker, Mataji, who was giving class, she said, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the living entities can be classified into 2 types, 3 types, and 4 types. So this was in the context of the class. So we were reading from 2nd canto, 10th chapter, verse 37, 38, 39, 40. So they're living beings that are born of embryos, like that. So we were reading about that. Anyway, so because here it is said there is no living being moving or non-moving, so I thought I'll just share that with you. So living beings can be classified as 2, 3, and 4 types. What are the 2 types of living beings? Moving and non-moving. That's one way of classifying living entities. 2 types, moving and non-moving. And the other way of classification is there are 3 types of living entities. Living entities that live in the air, those that live on land, and those that live in water. 3 types of living entities. And what are the 4 types of living entities? 4 types of living entities are the living entities that are born from the embryo, living entities born from eggs like birds and reptiles, right? And then living entities that are born from the seed like trees. And the 4th one is living entities born of perspiration. So that was interesting, because she also said living entities born of perspiration, and actually even I used to think like that until Mataji said this morning, but she actually quoted from Bhagavatam. She said this is said in the purport in the 11th canto, but the perspiration, generally we think, our perspiration, from our bodily perspiration, some germs are born, so that is the living entities born of perspiration. But she said there it is said, perspiration means the dew, right? In the mornings you see dew. So that dew is actually DEW, dew, not DUE, DEW, dew. That dew is the perspiration of earth. There are living entities born from that perspiration or from that dew. So of course I wanted to ask at the end of the class, what are the living entities that are born of dew, but I didn't get a chance to ask. But yeah, that's the 4th type. So the point I wanted to tell you was living entities can be classified as 2 types, 3 types and 4 types. So let's now begin reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9. And we are reading about the dynasty of Amshuman. So we saw how Amshuman performed tapasya in order to deliver his ancestors, his uncles. But in his lifetime, he didn't succeed in bringing the river Ganges. Then his son Dilipa, he also performed austerities, and he also eventually gave up his life. That means it was a long time, his whole lifetime. Still, he didn't succeed in bringing the Ganges down. And then his son, Dilipa's son Bhagirath, he also performed austerities. And finally, Mother Ganges appeared in front of Bhagirath, and she said she was very pleased. She was satisfied by his tapasya, and she was willing, she was ready to she was ready to fulfill his desire. What was his desire? He wanted Mother Ganges to come to this earth and go to that place, where the ashes are of his ancestors. And by her going there and touching them, they would be delivered. So she said, I'm ready to do that, but I have 2 concerns. Who remembers what those 2 concerns are? Ganga Devi's 2 concerns.
I'll come as big force. Somebody
And
has.
the sins, the sinful people will wash
It will be nice if everyone please raised your hands. Only Saujanya Mataji raised her hand, so I'll ask Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
It's the same thing they already said. So Gangadevi said that the force that it comes, unless someone holds it, I'll go to the Patala. So we want someone who can hold my force. And the second thing is, as soon as I come to earth, people will be waiting for their sins to be washed away. But I don't want that. She said, I should know. I'm remembering all the context, but you said only pure devotees will help for Ganga Devi not to get contaminated. But no, not like that, Mataji.
Okay, okay.
I'm
Thank you
using
for trying.
context, but not exact.
Yes. Okay.
It's something relating to the sins.
Yes. Aditi Lata Mataji.
So the first one is the force, that is clear. The second one is Ganga Devi was concerned that the sinful people will come and they will wash their sins off in me, and I will be carrying their sins, which she didn't want. But then the resolution was that all the pure devotees, when they will take bath in that, their sins, because they carry Vishnu in their heart, their sins will be nullified by Lord Vishnu.
Yes, thank you. And Vindhyavali Mataji, you were going to say the same thing? Thank you. So now let's continue reading. Now that, okay, that was also, so now Ganga Devi agreed. All right. So Bhagirath said, so what did Bhagirath say? Ganga Devi said, okay, I need somebody to contain me. And then how to, so about the sins, Mataji said, for the sins, the pure devotees will come, they take bath, and by that the sins will be, they will just be washed off from Ganga Devi. What about who will hold her? Somebody else.
Shiva.
You didn't raise your hand this time.
Oh, sorry. But Mataji, I have a question about the sin. So the concern
Raise your hand.
Oh.
Yes, okay. Go ahead.
I was saying the question is, so the concern is, Ganga Devi felt that, if I come, I'll get contaminated because all the people will come and, they want to get away their sins when they immerse in me. But she herself say the solution that if pure devotees come, or Bhagirath said? I'm a little confused.
Bhagirath said.
Oh, okay. He said that. Yeah. No, you won't be because when the pure devotees come. Okay, got it.
Aditi Lata Mataji. So you're going to give the answer?
Yeah, Lord Shiva. Sajani Mataji already said. Lord Shiva.
Sajani Mataji said, oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Lord Shiva, that, will hold.
Lord Shiva.
Will come.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vindhyavali Mataji. So Lord Shiva will hold. Lord Shiva will come and hold means he's suggesting, yes, Lord Shiva can hold. But that does not mean the two of them are talking and Lord Shiva will hold. Now he has to do tapasya to please Lord Shiva and ask Lord Shiva, can you please, Yeah, so that is there. So let us continue reading now. So, let me just read the last few translations so we will see the flow of the text. So Mother Ganges replied, when I fall from the sky, text 4, when I fall from the sky to the surface of the planet Earth, the water will certainly be very forceful. Who will sustain that force? If I am not sustained, I shall pierce the surface of the earth and go down to Rasatala, the Patala area of the universe. Text 5. O King, I do not wish to go down to the planet Earth, for there the people in general will bathe in my water to cleanse themselves of the reactions of their sinful deeds. When all these sinful reactions accumulate in me, how shall I become free from them? You must consider this very carefully. So did we also read text 6? Or should we start?
Mataji.
No, we didn't read. Okay. And whose turn is it today?
Lokesh read at last.
Lokesh read. So Mataji is there, Shamal Gopika Mataji and Suranand Prabhu are there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Sri Bhagirath Uvacha Sadhavo Nyasinah Shanta Brahmishta Lokapavanaha Arantyagam Tenga Sangat Deshvaste Yagabhidharihi. Yes, Mataji.
Bhagirath said, those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in the renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior and are able to deliver all the fallen souls. When such pure devotee bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. For such devotees always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can vanquish all sinful reactions.
Yes. So that's the important point.
We read
That
Mataji.
no, we read the summary.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. So that's the point. But in the previous purport, Srila Prabhupada said, however great a personality may be, he cannot take another person's sins. Take means he may be able to take, but he cannot just nullify the sins. He cannot just, Gangaji is taking all the sins of everyone. She's purifying them. But where will the sins go? Is she able to just digest them and just, finish those sins? No. She's just cleaning us of our sins. Who can actually just finish all those sins, like just destroy them? Only the Supreme Lord can do that.
Shiva can do.
Huh? Lord Shiva can do, you said?
He is
No.
the
Lord Vishnu only.
only.
Liberation can be given only by Lord Vishnu, not by anyone else. Although Lord Shiva is also an expansion, a special expansion, but liberation can only be given by Lord Vishnu. Nobody else can give liberation.
But
So,
can I say something, Mataji?
yes, Mataji.
Usually they say Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Shiva is the destroyer.
Destroyer, yes.
So,
Destroyer of this universe, yes. But the living entity is when the universe is destroyed means annihilation. So after annihilation, it does not mean that all the karma is also destroyed. No. Living entities still carry their karma only by practicing bhakti or by, either jnana or yoga path. When one transcends the modes of material nature, you can even say only by practicing bhakti, because jnana and yoga also don't give liberation until they do little bit of bhakti. Only jnana and only yoga also don't give result. There has to be an element of bhakti in those practices also. So only when one does bhakti and he gets liberation, then his karma is finished. Now that does not mean when it is time for annihilation, all the living entities that are there, they're all getting liberated. No, they're not getting liberated. They carry their karma, and along with, so it's reverse creation happens at the time of annihilation. Like, when you see a movie and you rewind it, then things are moving back. Like that, reverse creation takes place at the time of annihilation. Everything is going back into, everything came from the Lord, from Karanodakashai Vishnu. Now everything goes back into Karanodakashai Vishnu. The living entities also go back into him. But going back into him does not mean they're liberated. They're going to go there in a sleeping state. They're going to stay there until it is time for next creation. And when it is time for next creation, the Lord glances. And when the Lord glances on Prakriti, then all these living entities are once again injected into the Prakriti. And once again they get different bodies. Brahmaji gives them different bodies. Again they start there. So what bodies they get depends on what karma they have. So that karma is not destroyed by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is destroying. Destroying means, He is actually, what he is doing is, he is reversing the whole creation. That's what Lord Shiva is doing. Karma is not taken away. Karma is not destroyed. That is only Lord Vishnu. Okay. So, coming back to our shloka here. So, Bhagirath is saying, those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in the renounced order, free from material desires, and who are pure devotees, expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas, are always glorious and pure in behavior and are able to deliver all fallen souls. So somebody who is a pure devotee, he can deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. Now, it does not mean they are so exalted, therefore they are able to nullify the sinful reactions of others. No, they are not doing it, but they are acting as via medium for the Supreme Lord. They are carrying the Supreme Lord in the heart, in their heart. And it is the Supreme Lord who is, just nullifying or destroying all the sinful reactions, so that Ganga Devi is once again cleared of all these sinful reactions by all these people. That's how it is happening. For such devotees, always keep in the core of their hearts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can vanquish all sinful reactions. So in the previous verses, purport Srila Prabhupada said, only Lord Vishnu can, the Supreme Lord can nullify sinful reactions. No one else can do. Sometimes we see the spiritual master accepts. Spiritual master is also accepting, like Ganga Devi, right? He's accepting the sinful reactions, but because once again he's a pure devotee, and because he is carrying the Supreme Lord in the heart, the Lord, out of his, he favors his devotee who has surrendered himself to the Lord. And especially in that purport, Srila Prabhupada said, when the spiritual master is engaged in preaching Krishna's glories, then the Lord, out of his kindness, he destroys all the sinful reactions which the spiritual master has taken from the disciple. When the spiritual master is preaching, then the Lord destroys the sinful reactions that he has accepted of the disciples. And another point that Srila Prabhupada said, but after taking vows also, when the disciple is not practicing, not following, or not following completely, then if not fully, at least partially, the spiritual master has to accept the reactions. And that's why we see spiritual masters falling sick and things like that. So there's a grave instruction. Srila Prabhupada said, therefore every disciple must be very careful in following, keeping the vows which he has taken at the time of initiation, because Prabhupada says the poor spiritual master, out of mercy to deliver, he is accepting our sinful reactions. That does not mean we become, oh, let him suffer and I won't be responsible. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. That's not a gentleman's behavior. So we must keep our vows. Purport. So Surananda Prabhu is there, Mataji? Okay. So next, Sonia Mataji, you read yesterday? I think so. So Usha Mataji has to read. Usha
Yes, Mataji.
You read. Usha Mataji and Medha are here. They are not there. So next will be Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu, Suvarnangi Mataji, Suraj Purti.
Hare Krishna Mataji, viewers pranam Sangli Srila Prabhupada.
Danvat Pranam Prabhuji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So you can read the first paragraph of the purport.
Sure Mataji. Mother Ganges is available to everyone for bathing. Therefore, not only will sinful persons bathe in Ganges water, but in Hardwar and other holy places where the Ganges saintly persons and devotees will also bathe in the water of the Ganges. Devotees and saintly person advanced in the renounced order can deliver even the Ganges. Tirthi kuruvanti tirthani swantaha sthena gadabratha. Bhagavatam 1.13.10. Because saintly devotees always keep the Lord within the core of their heart, they can perfectly cleanse the holy places of all sinful reactions. Therefore, people in general must always respectfully honor saintly persons. It is ordered that as soon as one sees a Vaishnava or even a sannyasi, one should immediately offer respects to such holy men. If one forgets to show respect in this way, one must observe a fast for that day. This is a Vedic injunction. One must be extremely careful to refrain from committing offenses at the lotus feet of a devotee or saintly person.
Yeah. So everyone can go and take bath in the Ganges. Sinful people can take bath, and even devotees can take bath. So in the shloka, you see, there's those who are in the renounced order, like sannyasis. Okay, those who are saintly because of devotional service and are therefore in the renounced order. So again, renounced order means we are not talking about Mayavadi sannyasis. We are talking about those who are in the renounced order because of devotional service. Right? So in order to do devotional service, to do more focused devotional service, somebody who takes sannyas, right? So those who are in the renounced order, that's one class, free from material desires and who are pure devotees, like this. So those who are in the renounced order, those who are free from material desires, those who are pure devotees, and expert in following the regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas. So regulative principles mentioned in the Vedas means dharma. Those who are expert in following the Vedic injunctions strictly for carrying out their dharma are always glorious and pure in behavior. Right? So you're seeing different categories here. There is the renounced order, free from material desires. Free from material desires can also mean Nishkama Karma Yogis, right? And pure devotees, of course, pure devotees, and also those who are expert in following regulative principles. All these are glorious and they're pure in behavior and they're able to deliver all fallen souls. Or because but what the highlight here is because of devotional service, because you have sannyasis also, you have different categories. You have sannyasis who are following the jnana marga, so they are not rendering devotional service, they are not sannyasis because of devotional service. So that's why people who are saintly because of devotional service, first, that means devotees only, and in that those who are sannyasis, then those who are free from material desires, those who are pure devotees. Pure devotees means ananya bhaktas, and those who are expert in following regulative principles. But the underlying principle is because of devotional service, right? Who are doing all these things because of devotional service. They are glorious and pure in behavior and are able to deliver all fallen souls. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. How they are being counteracted? So it's further clarified. We are talking about devotees only, right? because these devotees are carrying the Lord in the core of their hearts. They are able to, and it is the Supreme Lord who is able to vanquish the sinful reactions. So then, yes, people who want to become free from sins, they are taking bath in Ganga, and also pure devotees and devotees who have taken to sannyas and all the other, they are taking bath in the Ganges. But the devotees, pure devotees who are carrying the Supreme Lord in the heart, when they take bath in holy places, like we have Ganga here in Mayapur, in Haridwar, right? Prayag, like that. So, even devotees go to holy places. Sadhus, saintly persons, they reside in holy places and they take bath in the Ganga. When they take bath in the Ganga, then they deliver, they remove all the sinful reactions. They remove means it is the Lord who destroys, the Lord seated in their hearts destroys. So, how important are saintly persons? Imagine. If there are no saintly persons, then simply all the sinful people will be filling up their sinful reactions. But I mean, like you have a dumpster, and if there is no system of emptying the dumpster, how long can you go on dumping your trash in that, right? It has to be removed there.
Overflows.
So therefore, how valuable are these saintly persons for this entire earth, for everyone, right? And simply by their devotional service, by their rendering devotional service to the Lord, by that activity, they are doing so much service. Sometimes, people would challenge Srila Prabhupada that you devotees, you don't work, right? You simply, like parasites, you just depend on your donations, you beg for donations and you don't work, as if, as if they're trying to say that we are just lazy. Srila Prabhupada immediately, answered and he said, we work 24 hours. I work, Srila Prabhupada said, I work 24 hours a day. You cannot work like me. You cannot, I'm so old, still I'm traveling 3 to 4 times. Every year I'm traveling all over the world. You cannot do that, right? So, it's not that we are lazy, but this is one, they point out or they blame the devotees that you simply chant Hare Krishna, you're not working and, earning money like that. But simply by chanting, like Haridas Thakur was chanting Hare Krishna only. But by that, simply by chanting, so much service was being done. So much service was being done. So devotees are very, very valuable. The bottom line is, if this world is prosperous, right? If we are getting the fruits, seasonal fruits, rain on time, and everything, calamities are not happening. It's only because of the few pure devotees that are living on this earth. By their mercy, this world is still, uh, it is still safe, right? Safe means it's still existing. Otherwise, because they carry the Lord in their heart. You see, when the Lord was there, the whole earth, we see in the first canto, there's a description, right? When the earth was decorated with the footprints of Krishna, how the earth was rejoicing. Everything was completely, everyone was offering their gifts to their full capacity, like the mountains were giving their jewels and the rivers were full with water, the trees were producing fruits and flowers throughout the year, like that. Everything was very pleasing. And the same is said when Yudhishthir Maharaj was the king. Why? Because he's a pure devotee. He's carrying the Lord in the heart. So, such devotees should be respected, should be honored. When we see a devotee of the Lord, of course, there are different grades of devotees, and there is different types of etiquette for different grades of devotees. But however a neophyte or devotee may be, still, at least in our heart, we must offer obeisances to every kind of devotee. It does not matter. He may be a neophyte or new devotee, whatever. At least in our heart, we must offer obeisances to that person. Even if he is an offender or whatever, it's okay. That person is offensive, still in our heart, we must offer obeisances because he is a devotee of the Lord. So those who are subordinate, there's one etiquette. Those who are equal, there's another etiquette. Those who are superior, there's another etiquette. Those who are subordinate to us, then you can just greet Hare Krishna like that. Those who are equal, of course, one way is you can go and you can devotees go and embrace each other also. That's also a sign of affection, equals. But you like this, you can say Hare Krishna. And those who are superiors, you should bow down and offer obeisances. What to speak of a sannyasi, or like a god brother or god sister of your spiritual master. God brothers, god sisters of spiritual master should be treated just like spiritual master. So bow down, right? Bow down and offer obeisances to them. So this is the etiquette. But especially to saintly persons, sannyasis, it is essential that when you see a sannyasi, you should bow down. And we discussed this in the past also. Sometimes we have health issues and all that. So, Acha, Priyanka Mataji is asking, is it okay to embrace devotees in front of deities? I've never heard about that, Mataji, that we should not embrace devotees in front of deities. That part I didn't hear. Yeah, you should not bow down before anyone except the spiritual master while you're standing in front of the deity. That much I heard. But embracing devotees.
That's what I always think, Mataji. If somebody comes and, an elderly person, they want to do namaskar to me, I said, no, not in the temple. Temple, you
Yes.
just bow down to the God only, not to nobody. Nobody
Yes.
else. That's all.
Guru. You can
Guru.
offer to Guru. Because
Guru. But God is the first one. Then Guru. Guru also. Actually, Guru teaches everything. Yeah, Guru also first one. But what I'm saying is, normal people like me, it's not the place.
Right.
I usually tell everybody. That's what happens sometimes in
Yeah.
the temple. I just tell everybody.
Correct.
The
Yes,
elderly
Mataji.
person also. What is that? I'm not a pure. I can't say I'm pure like sannyasi.
No, Mataji. Even sannyasi also, we should not bow down while in front of the deity.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm saying. Even sannyasi, we don't bow down. But spiritual master, we can bow down. We should bow down. So if you're seeing your spiritual master, even in front of the deity,
God in him. Yeah.
Guru, your Guru, you bow down. But other than Guru, you can stand and you can go like that. But not pranams, that we shouldn't do. That's the etiquette. Okay. So yeah, embracing, I don't know, Mataji. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, I didn't hear about that before. I just said from observation, this time I saw devotees embracing one another while Aarti in ISKCON Alachua. Yeah, I mean, generally in Aarti, when Aarti is going on, attention should be on the deity.
80s only.
Yeah, no talking, no other activity, no distraction other than, yeah, we should not do. Unless, now if somebody is like so for us, like someone like our guru or somebody, and they are meeting another god brother after a long time, and they just quickly, to greet, and then they continue with the aarti, and we shouldn't find fault with that. But if it's like a distraction, right, the whole attention is going away from the deity, then yeah, that's not right. Yeah. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, I just wanted to clarify in the translation what type of devotees, pure devotees they are mentioning. The balance, like who are practicing Vedic, this thing. So those are Madhyamadhikari and Kanishta. Are they mentioning about that, or what type of devotees are they?
Mataji, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama categorization is not just one categorization. Actually, it's like based on the criterion. So based on Shraddha, you'll have Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Then based on the type of worship that they do, there is Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Then based on their bhajan, there is Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. Like that, different, based on different criteria, you have Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. So it is hard to say on what basis you are saying that this is Kanishta or Madhyama or Uttama. So that's not being said here. What is being said here is those who are saintly because of devotional service. That's the point. So the highlight is devotional service. And then therefore matlab, they are saintly. Why they are saintly? Because they have renounced this world. That's why you're calling them saintly? No. Because of devotional service they are saintly, and for the sake of devotional service they have renounced. That means they have entered sannyas ashram, or for the sake of devotional service they are free from material desires, or for the sake of devotional service, of course, they are pure devotees. This is the topmost. And they are expert in following the regulative principles. Expert in following the regulative principles means doing dharma, right? You have duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. You are following that for the sake of obedience to the orders of the Supreme Lord. Like we would call this Daiva Varnashram. Daiva Varnashram means the goal is devotional service. Why? Because in the beginning itself the standard is set because of devotional service, right? So because of devotional service, and they are following regulative principles. So this would be Daiva Varnashram. They are all glorious. Why? Because they are all rendering devotional service. And they are pure in behavior and are able to deliver all fallen souls. But specifically, the last part is saying pure devotees. When such pure devotees bathe in your water, the sinful reactions accumulated from other people will certainly be counteracted. So yeah, we are not talking about Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, because when you say Kanishta, it doesn't talk about that categorization. It's talking about those who are in the renounced order, those who are doing their duties, but still their goal is only devotional service, although they are doing duties, right? Bhakti Matra Kama. Bhakti Matra Kama, Mishra Bhakti. That means they're doing Bhakti Matra Kama. The purpose of whatever work that they're doing is so that they can do pure devotional service, like that. So if you're asking about this category,
Yes.
they're following their duties, like you're a family person, so you're working, raising a family, so that work is karma. But why you're doing that karma? So that you can train everyone in the family to become devotees to practice devotional service. There's no other reason behind your work, no other cause. You're not working so that you can have secure, you have some security in your old age, or so that you can support your community or whatever, right? That's not the idea. Your sole purpose of whatever work you do is so that you can practice devotional service. So they are also devotees, pure devotees.
Thank you.
Pure devotees means, again, pure devotees means not exactly Ananya Bhakta. Ananya Bhakta means they won't do any karma. Anyway, let's not get into that now.
So this one they're actually talking about, one is Ananya Bhaktas, another is the
Mishra Bhaktas.
Karma Mishra
Bhaktas, yeah. Karma Mishra Bhaktas. But Karma Mishra Bhaktas also you have categories, like you have Sakama Karma Mishra, Kaivalya Kama Karma Mishra, and you have Nishkama Karma Mishra and Bhakti Matra Kama. Sakama Karma Mishra means you have some material desires, you're doing bhakti and you're doing karma to fulfill your material desires also. So side by side, you're doing bhakti and also you're doing some karma because you have some material desires, right? You want a nice house, you want some comforts, for that you're working and you're also doing bhakti, sakama, right?
So that category is not here. It doesn't say that it is not here because they also have Krishna in their heart, Vishnu in their heart.
No.
They're also following Vedic rules.
No. Bhakti Matra Kama means their goal is only pure devotional service. They're doing bhakti and their goal is pure devotional service only. Even though they're doing some karma, that karma is being done only to assist bhakti, not for any other purpose. Not because I have some material desires, so I'm doing karma. No. Bhakti Matra Kama. Sakama and Nishkama. Nishkama means Kaivalya Kama. They want liberation. They're doing bhakti, but I don't want to suffer in this world. I have enough, right? I want to be liberated after this life. So that is Kaivalya Kama. They're doing bhakti, but they have a desire to be liberated. Sakama means they're doing bhakti, but they have a desire for some sukha, aishwarya, some comforts, some opulence. They have that desire also, but they're doing bhakti also. So, and whereas Bhakti Matra Kama means they are doing bhakti, they don't want anything else, and they're doing some karma. Then why they are doing karma? If they want to do only bhakti, why they are doing karma? They are doing karma because they feel that I need to do this karma in order to do bhakti. If I don't do this karma, I won't be able to do bhakti properly, right? Who will pay my bills? If I fall sick, then how I'll be able to chant, right? What does this mean? This means I don't have full faith in bhakti yet. So therefore they do, but their goal is only pure devotional service. This is Bhakti Matra Kama. They are not desiring any comforts or anything. That's the category. Because here it is said they are, because the goal is important. Aspiration is what? Is my aspiration pure devotional service? What is pure devotional service? I simply want to please Krishna. Whatever he wants me to do, I want to do that. I am not there yet, but that's where I want to be. That is my goal. That is my aspiration. I want to be a pure devotee. Pure devotee means where I will not desire anything except Krishna's pleasure. For Krishna's pleasure, I am willing to do anything. I want to be like that. Bhakti Matra Kama. And someone else may say, honestly, no, that's not for me. I am happy going to Vaikuntha, Sukha Aishwarya. With Sukha and Aishwarya, I can go and stay in Vaikuntha, but this is too much for me. Such, I cannot do this. That's also there, that's also possible. But they are also devotees. You don't say they are not devotees, but there are different grades of devotees.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, so the first paragraph of the purport, did we read? Yes, we read. So yeah, so the point is that we should be very careful when we are dealing with devotees, because devotees are very important. They're carrying the Lord in their heart, and because saintly devotees always keep the Lord within the core of their hearts, they can perfectly cleanse the holy places of all sinful reactions. That's the point. So such great service these saintly devotees are doing. So people in general, those who are not devotees also, they must always honor saintly persons with great respect. And for some reason, if they fail to do that, they should fast that whole day. Don't eat anything. That means this is a Vedic injunction that you should fast, you should observe a fast. If you fail to offer obeisances to a sannyasi or to a Vaishnava, when you see the Vaishnava and you don't offer obeisances, then you must fast, and this is a Vedic injunction. One must be extremely careful to refrain from committing offenses at the lotus feet of a devotee or saintly person. Next, Mataji, Suhrid or Spurti. One of you can read the next part, second half of Hare Krishna.
There are methods of prayaschitta or atonement, but they are inadequate to cleanse one of sinful reactions. One can be cleansed of sinful actions only by devotional service, as stated in regard to the history of Ajam. केवल्य भक्ताय वसुदेव परायणः आगम दुवन्ति कर्तृयेन निहिरम् इव बष्करा. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fogs by its rays. Bhagavad Gita 6.1.15. If one is on Bhagavatam 6.1.15. If one is under the protection of the devotee and sincerely renders service unto him, by the process of bhakti yoga, one is certainly able to counteract all sinful reactions.
Hare Krishna. So that's the thing. Prayaschitta is there for karma kanda, right? You do some, I told you 5 types of karma. So one of them is Nishiddha karma, and one of them is Prayaschitta karma. Nishiddha karma means forbidden activities, which you are not supposed to do. If you do, then there is Prayaschitta karma. To counteract any, wrong activity you have done, to counteract that, you have to do Prayaschitta. But offense to a Vaishnava, can you do any Prayaschitta there? No atonement will work. For offense to Vaishnavas, atonement is not effective. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying. There are methods of prayaschitta or atonement, but they are inadequate to cleanse one of sinful reactions. We read this when we were reading about Ajamil, that what happens when you do prayaschitta is like, when you're pulling the weeds, you cut off the top of the weeds, but the roots are still there inside. In a few days, again, it will come up, the weeds come up. So the root of that sin is there in your heart. When you do prayaschitta, simply externally, the reaction you remove. For the sin that you have done, you remove the reaction for that particular sin. But that does not guarantee you will not do the same sin again. You will do, because the roots are there in your heart. How to uproot that tendency to do sin? That is only possible by bhakti. That is not possible by prayaschitta. By prayaschitta, you cannot uproot sinful desires. But when you do bhakti, even the desires are removed, right? Not just the reactions. aprarabdha, bijam, kutam, phalonmukam, prarabdha karma. Everything is removed when you do bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, when you do pure devotional service. But prayaschitta, simply external reaction is removed, but again you'll commit the same sinful activity. So even Parikshit Maharaj had rejected that. He said this is like Hasti Snan, Kunjara Shaucham, right? Kunjara Shaucham means elephant bath. Yesterday we discussed that. Elephant takes bath and again it puts sand on itself. Like that. You do prayaschitta and again go and commit the same sinful activity. What is the use? So in removing sinful tendencies, sinful activities, prayaschitta is not effective. Only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions. So only bhakti, pure bhakti, can uproot the desires for sinful actions. Therefore, we have only one shelter. For anything, the only shelter is bhakti. And in bhakti also, the only one which is effective in this age is Sankirtan, right? Hare Krishna, congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and of course following the rules and regulations as given by the Acharya. Follow this procedure, that's our only protection. The program which is given by the Acharya, if we follow, that's our only protection. Other than that, nothing will work in this Kali Yuga. Okay, but a pure devotee, the comparison is like the sun. As soon as the sun rises, the fog is immediately dissipated. So similarly, when there is a pure devotee, because pure devotee is carrying the Lord in the heart, like the sun, Krishna Surya Sama, right? Krishna is like the sun. Maya is like fog. So when Krishna rises, Maya has to run away. So no more sinful reactions, no more sinful activities. If one is under the protection of a devotee and sincere, so now you may not be that pure devotee, but if you are serving or you are being guided by such a devotee and you are sincerely rendering service to such a devotee, then by this process of bhakti yoga, you will certainly be able to counteract all sinful reactions. So that is why in our daily program we have Guru Puja. Guru Puja. We are serving a pure devotee, right? And if we follow Bhakti Yoga under his guidance, then we are protected. Okay. So let's read one more verse and yeah. Dharayishyati te vegam rudrastvatma sharirinam yasminnotam midam protam vishvam shativa tantushu. Okay. Mataji and Spurti.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, this entire universe in all its
latitude
and longitude is situated under different potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord, and thus he represents the super soul of the embodied soul. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head.
Yes, so Bhagirath is speaking, isn't it, to Ganga Devi. Ganga Devi had two concerns: who will sustain my force, and second one is how will I get rid of all the sins that people drop off in me after bathing in me. So Bhagirath is saying, for the sins, he said, pure devotees, when they bathe in your waters, they'll remove all sins. And for the first one, who will sustain the force of your current? For that, here Bhagirath is saying, like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, right? Cloth is nothing but threads, like this, lengthwise and breadthwise. There's just threads put together. That's a cloth, tightly woven together. That is a cloth. So like a cloth woven of threads extending for its length and breadth, this entire universe in all its latitude and longitude is situated under different potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means everything is the Lord's energy, right? Everything is controlled by the Lord. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of that Lord. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of that Supreme Lord. And so he represents the super soul in the embodied soul. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head. So Bhagirath is giving solution that Lord Shiva can hold you. He can sustain you. How is that? Let's read purport. Suvarnangi Mataji is going to read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat
Yes,
pranam.
Mataji. Dandavat pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji. Purport.
Purport. The water of the Ganges is supposed to rest on the head of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is an incarnation of Supreme Personality of God who sustains the entire universe by different potencies. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita. Shiram yata dadi vikara vishesha yoga sanjayate nahi tata prataghasti hetu yaha sambhutam api tata samupaiti karyad govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Milk changes into yogurt when mixed with yogurt culture, but actually yogurt is constitutionally nothing but milk. Similarly, Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes the form of Lord Shiva for the special purpose of the material transactions. I offer my obeisances to Lord Govinda's lotus feet. Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the same sense that yogurt is also milk, although at the same time it is not milk. For the maintenance of the material world, there are three incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is Vishnu in an incarnation for the mode of ignorance. The material world exists predominantly in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, Lord Shiva is compared here to the longitude and latitude of the entire universe, which resembles a cloth woven of threads extending for both its length and breadth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So the water of the Ganges is supposed to rest on the head of Lord Shiva. So the Supreme Lord is sustaining this whole universe, and Lord Shiva is a representative of that Supreme Lord. So one who is sustaining this whole universe, can't he sustain Goddess Ganga like that? So Lord Shiva, being a representative of that Supreme Lord, he will be able to sustain you. Srila Prabhupada is quoting this verse from Brahma Samhita, which is saying that who is Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord in a different form. Like yogurt is milk in a different form. Like that. So Lord Shiva is like yogurt, Lord Vishnu is like milk. Yogurt is nothing but milk, but still it is yogurt. Yogurt is not same as milk. So that is Lord Shiva's position. So he assumes, the Supreme Lord assumes the form of Lord Shiva for a special purpose of material transaction. So therefore Lord Shiva is the Supreme Lord only in a different form. So just as the Supreme Lord is able to sustain the whole universe, not able to, he's sustaining the whole universe. Similarly, in the form of Lord Shiva, he can sustain Goddess Ganga. That's the point. Yeah. Lord Shiva is Vishnu in an incarnation for the mode of ignorance. The material world exists predominantly in the mode of ignorance. Therefore, Lord Shiva is compared here to the longitude and latitude of the entire universe. Yes, okay. So we can stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here. So tomorrow, Neelambari Radha Mataji will begin reading. And I'll read Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is introduction. Yeah. Did somebody go? Did someone go? No. Someone is helping from outside? Inside. Someone is stuck in the elevator apparently, so they are banging the elevator. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, introduction. Okay. So we are reading about the difference between the Supreme Lord and the individual soul. What is this consciousness? This consciousness, because we saw yesterday, the individual soul is conscious of only of his body, whereas the Supreme Lord is conscious of all bodies. Yes. Also, the other difference is our consciousness is contaminated by the three modes of material nature, colored by the modes of material nature, whereas the Lord's consciousness is never affected by the material nature. So next, what is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. The world revolves. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness, see, when you feel that you are the center, then you expect that everything should go around you, isn't it? Because I am the center of all attention. Everyone should go around me. So because everyone thinks like this, therefore the world is revolving. It is said here. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am the enjoyer. Okay? Material consciousness. Let's analyze this material consciousness. Material consciousness. We are analyzing the consciousness of the living entity in this material world, the material consciousness. It has two psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and two is I am the enjoyer. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer, and the living being, living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. How? Like, yeah, anyway, Prabhupada will give that example. Being a part of the Supreme Lord, we can at best be a cooperator. He is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, legs, eyes, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. So Srila Prabhupada says that if this finger thinks that I want to enjoy that rasgulla myself, I will eat it. Will the finger get any nourishment? No. But if the finger puts that rasgulla in the mouth and through the, your digestive tract, it goes into your stomach, then after it goes inside, your finger will become red, Srila Prabhupada says, because it gets nourishment, right? There's blood supply nicely and the finger becomes pink. So that's the way to enjoy. So if I want to enjoy, I have to put it in Krishna's mouth. I should offer it to Krishna. And when you give it to Krishna, then I become the enjoyer. This is also explained by Sri Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj also explains this, that when we offer something to Krishna, it is not that we are doing some favor to Krishna, right? Oh, Krishna is hungry, poor Krishna, let me give him something, otherwise he's going to starve. He's not going to starve. He's not in need of your food. But when you offer to him, you are not benedicting him. You are not giving, like you may think like that of your child, or so you give some charity to somebody, right? Someone comes to your door begging and you give them something and you feel, I am, the one who's favoring this person. I'm benedicting this person. He didn't have food, I gave him food. Now, you feel proud. Is it like that when you give to Krishna, that I have offered a nice dress to Krishna, I have offered a nice garland to Krishna, I have cooked a nice offering to Krishna, so I have done something good for Krishna. Krishna should be thankful to me for that. He doesn't need any of that. He's already Purna. He's complete in himself. He doesn't need any of your things. He doesn't need it. You need it. I need it. When I offer to Krishna, I'm actually helping myself. I'm not helping him. And Prahlad Maharaj gives an example for this. We discussed this example before, right? You have a mirror, right? And how do you see yourself, whether you're beautiful or not? You see a reflection in the mirror and then you know if you're looking nice, right? So you decorate your face nicely with nice earrings and whatever else, right? Just decorate yourself nicely. And then how do you know if you're looking beautiful or not? You see the reflection. The reflection, you're interested in seeing the reflection. You want to see that the reflection is beautiful. Now, if you want to see the reflection is beautiful, can you decorate that reflection in the mirror? Can you put jewelry on the mirror, stick it, and then make the reflection look beautiful? No. If you want the reflection to be beautiful, you have to decorate the original. By decorating the original, the reflection will become beautiful. So this original bimba is Krishna. The pratibimba or the reflection is you and me. So when Prabhupada also, of course, the philosophy is the same. Prabhupada will say the same thing. What Prahlad Maharaj said. Prabhupada says that when you decorate the deity, you become beautiful. If you are interested in becoming beautiful, you decorate the deity to the best of your ability. Make the deity, decorate the deity so nicely. You will become beautiful by that. So when we offer things to Krishna, it's not that he is getting the advantage or benefit. For him, he's already full. Doesn't make any difference for him. But when I offer, I'm actually helping myself. That's the point. So here, yeah. So when we offer, so the legs move, hands supply food, teeth chew, all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach. So what is the stomach? The stomach is the Supreme Lord. And hands, legs, fingers, what are they? That's us, right? So when we work to satisfy him, then we become nourished. That's the point. The legs move, hands supply food, teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach, because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. Just remember, stomach means Krishna. All other parts is us, right? So everything is given by all these parts. Everything is supplied to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering its root. The root is Krishna, right? One nourishes the tree. Tree, all the different parts of the tree is us, you, me, and everyone else. And the root is Krishna. If you want the tree to produce nice flowers, fruits, and grow nicely, you pour water on the root. The root is Krishna. One nourishes the tree by watering its root. And one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in a healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we, as subordinate living beings, are meant to cooperate to satisfy Him. What did we read in the beginning? What are the two psychic divisions of material consciousness? I am the creator, I am the enjoyer. But that's not reality. Actually, our natural position is Krishna is the creator, Krishna is the enjoyer, and we are his parts and parcels. We are meant to cooperate in his creation and in his enjoyment. We are meant to cooperate. And when we cooperate, then we are in our natural position, we are happy. This cooperation will actually help us, just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated, right? They won't get any taste nor any nourishment. If they try to, right? The fingers are trying to eat the rasgulla, they're poking into the rasgulla, trying to get the juice. Nothing is going to happen. It will only result in frustration. The central figure of creation and of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord. And the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. It's not like they're losers by cooperating, he's enjoying and we are just sitting and watching. No, exactly like that stomach. When the stomach is supplied food, all parts of the body are nourished. So when we cooperate with him, we actually enjoy, right? We are cooperating for his enjoyment, and in the process, we begin to enjoy. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord who has created the manifested cosmic world. So we'll stop Bhagavad Gita reading here. I'll read a little bit of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Srila Prabhupada is in New York, in Dr. Mishra's apartment. And we read Dr. Mishra saying how much he appreciated Srila Prabhupada, right? He said that, he's an incarnation of love. That's what he said. Srila Prabhupada is an incarnation of, he's really an incarnation of love. So when he was sick, Srila Prabhupada nursed him back to health by cooking for him and giving him prasadam. Okay. Dr. Mishra appreciated that Prabhupada, cooking with the precision of a chemist, would prepare many dishes, and that he had a gusto for eating. Ramamurthy Mishra. It was not bread he gave me. He gave me prasadam. This was life, and he saved my life. At that time, I was not sure I would live, but his habit to eat on time, whether I was hungry or not, that I very much liked. He'd get up and say, "All right, this is Bhagavad Prasadam," and I would say, "All right." Joanne Sewell, an old student of or maybe Joan Sewell, an old student of Dr. Mishra's, often saw Srila Prabhupada and her teacher together at the Riverside Drive apartment. Joan Sewell. I have a memory of Swamiji as a child. I have a memory of Swamiji as a child in the sense of his being very innocent. So she would think of Prabhupada as a small innocent child, in the sense of his being very innocent, a very simple person, very pure. The impression I have from Dr. Mishra is that he regarded Swamiji as a father figure who was kindly and good. So you saw Dr. Mishra was like 40 some years, 44 I think. And Srila Prabhupada was over 70 or 70. Okay, he was 70. So you see the difference. So Dr. Mishra looked at Srila Prabhupada like a father who was kindly and good. But basically the words most often used referring to Swamiji were like a child, meaning that he was simple in a classical, beautiful sense. Dr. Mishra mentioned to me when I was first introduced to Swamiji that he was a very holy man, very religious, wrapped in God consciousness. Swamiji was very sweet. I myself remember him as a very, very good man, even in the practical details of living in New York, which seemed to involve him very much, because he was a practical man and was looking for the best place to begin his work. I remember very well that he was always careful about washing his clothes out every night. Okay? He was careful about washing his clothes out every night. I would come in and find a group of students in the living area of Dr. Mishra's apartment, and in the bathroom would be hung Swamiji's orange robes. So I'll stop here. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all very much. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.